Morning, morning, morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500, and welcome back to Project Masie. Got the MoT tomorrow, so I need to get it ready. Make sure it's going to pass. Let's get on with it. So yeah, I got the wheel off again. When I was doing the wing the other day, and I filmed last week when I was doing that, and we had a look at the disc, and I did comment that it was a little bit on the lipped side, both internally and externally. When I was looking at the video back before it went live on Sunday, I was sort of looking at that as well. So it's quite scored as well. So I thought, what's it like on the back? It's not scored on the back particularly, but it is on the front. So I thought, it's been MoT tomorrow. At the very least, that's going to come up as an advisory. And I don't want to chance it being that makes it fail the MoT. So I thought I'd change them. I've got some, so I thought I might as well change them. The pads look brand new, so I'm going to have a look at the pads when I take them out. And if they are as new as they look, then I'm not going to change the pads. I know you should change pads and discs at the same time, but they look just so new that I'm going to have a punt and have a look, and if they're okay, I'm just going to leave them. So let's get you up on the tripod and let's get it done. There we go, all done. Bit dirty. Bit greasy. Me greasy hands. It's nice feeling to get new discs on. Almost makes the car look new again, doesn't it? And I think it shows an owner, you know, a new owner, that you've taken care of it, and it's a cheap and easy job. I did have a little bit of trouble getting the bolts back in on the carrier, the back thing, whatever you call this thing, the cage. It's not called a cage, I can't think what it's called. Carrier, is it? I had a bit of trouble getting that back in. You really need gloves on when you're doing this. But it's on. It just took a little bit of extra effort, so I did pause it a couple of times. But it's done now. That's that side done. So I'm going to get the wheel back on, and then we'll do the other side. But I think I came out here a bit earlier today because I've got quite a lot of stuff to do today. Not all on this car. I'm not bothering doing. Where is it? Up here. I'm not bothering doing the painting today. Let's get it MOT'd first. So I'll get that box. The only reason I had that box under there, in case you were wondering, is to rest the calipers on when I was changing it. When I know you're supposed to hang it on here really, but apart from bungee cords, I didn't really have anything else, so I thought I'd just rest it on the box. But yeah, that's done now, so I'm pleased about that. Let's get the wheel back on, and then we'll go and do the other side. I'll show you the old ones close up once we've done that. So let's quickly do the other side. I'm not going to bother filming it. I'll do that, we'll come back and I'll show you the discs, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Well, I thought I'd show you the discs up close if I can. So let me tip that up, let me get in close on there. Can you see that lip? That's got to be a good 0.5 millimetre, maybe a bit more. And as you can see, they're quite scored as well. They're not too bad scoring wise. That one's worse than that one, I think. They don't seem to be scored at all on the back, which is interesting. Oh, that one is. Yeah, you can see they're quite bad, but the pads were fine. The pads were really good. So I haven't reused. I've reused the pads. I haven't put new pads on. I think completely unnecessary. I know they're not. I know they're cheap, but it just wasn't necessary at all. So yeah, they'll be going to the scrap man. So as I say, there's a lip on the inside and a lip on the outside. Outside lip's worse, but the inside lip's quite bad as well on both of them. So they'll be going for scrap. So that's another job done. Almost there for the MOT now, I think. I'm going to take the car out for a spin shortly, just to make sure everything's as it should be. And hopefully we can park this outside, and then tomorrow morning we'll be taking it for the MOT. And we get it back and then do the bumper. I'm not going to do the bumper today. I'm going to do something else today on one of the other cars, but once I know it's past the MOT, then we can get on and do that, and then once that's done, it can get a final clean and go up for sale. What was the other thing I was going to say about this? Oh, the wheel. Yeah, I'm going to do this wheel. The tyre's okay on this wheel. I mean, the wheel is a bit curbed anyway, so as you know, I've got the curbed one off the other side, but I don't know, the tread here, right on the edge here, is quite low. So again, you know, I don't want to be chancing getting an advisory, or even worse, a failure on the tyre. I don't think it would. I think it's okay on that edge. Inside edge is more worn actually, so yeah, no, I'm going to change it. I've got one of the other tyres in the shed down the bottom of the garden, so I'm going to swap them over. That way I've then got two wheels that I can refurb. I can get a new tyre put on that and get it refurbed. So let's go down the shed, get a wheel, put it on, and then we're done. I'm going to clean my hands up and take it for a quick spin and see how it is. So I'm in the car, done the brakes, put it back on the floor, put another wheel on. Maybe off for fuel in this. Yeah, we're alright for fuel. So I'm not sure what the volume's like on this camera. I don't think it's brilliant, so I might have to do something with it. But so MOT tomorrow. Unfortunately, I'm going to Quick Fit to get it done. Different Quick Fit, but Quick Fit all the same. It was only 24 quid. I found it was £26 something, and I found a 10% off voucher, or £28. I found a 10% off voucher. It gave me a couple of quid off. So it's only an MOT, not service. Well, hopefully nothing else. But I wouldn't get them to do it anyway. I'd bring it home and do it myself, whatever it was, or get Connor to do it, depending on what it was. But fingers crossed. So this is its first drive now. Put my foot on the brake, because obviously we're going to have no brakes. That's it. Right. It's warm in here. I don't want to put the aircon on or open the window just for the noise. So as far as I know, it's okay. But obviously we're not going to be able to tell that until we get it out there. Take it for a spin. So let's take it down the road. Right. I think the tracking needs doing. It's a bit out. It's a little bit out. Oh, those brakes are fading a little bit where they're brand new. Yeah, tracking's a little bit out. I reckon that's what's happened in the accident. It seems to be running alright, driving okay, even despite the tracking being... It's only a minuscule amount out, but out all the same. It's not in city mode. Yeah, it's driving fine. Bit of a rattle coming from the back, like if that's a loose bit of trim or something. I think it's not a... Oh, what's going on here with traffic? Oh, blimey, I think I'm going to turn around and go back the other way. People in my way. I don't know what's going on up there. Solid traffic jam, so we'll go back the other way. So yeah, apart from the steering being very, very slightly out, what I might get them to do is do the tracking as well. I don't want laser tracking, I just want ordinary tracking. I'm not bothered about laser tracking. Quick Fit obviously do tracking, so I'm tempted to say, can you do the tracking as well as the MoT? Obviously you know what's going to happen then, I'm going to have to wait, wait, pull out on me, just going to swear them. I forgot, oh my camera's facing the other sodding way, what's going on here? Oh man, I don't know how long my camera's been facing the other way for. Oh, stop start even works on this, blimey. Must be a decent battery, mustn't it? There's a lot of traffic around today, aren't there? Thank you. Oh, I was letting him go, not me. Oh, yeah, thank you. He didn't want to let me go. Don't like Fiat 500 drivers. I don't know where the camera's pointing, so you'll have to... I think it's pointing directly at me at the moment, so hopefully it's getting me in. I don't think it's tightened up properly, so that's obviously why it moved. But I'm not sure when it did that. So yeah, so tracking is very, 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 very slightly out. It's probably about 2 minutes to 12. That's all, but it's not much. But it's enough. It's out. If it's out, it's out, isn't it? Oh, the camera's moved again. I'm gonna have to... Right, so I pulled over at a side street because my camera went doolally and twisted round, Mr. Magpie. It's a little bit of a dum when I pull away. I wonder what that's all about. Why is it doing that? A little bit of a wheel spin. If that's anything to do with the tracking being out. I don't know. I've never been down here before. Let's go around the block. Maybe it's just sporty, responsive engine. Maybe it's just me being a bit heavy on the clutch, I don't know. Or a bit quick on the clutch. Why is this person walking in the middle of the road? Right, camera's still facing the right way. Yeah, tomorrow morning, 10:45, 10:30, I can't remember now exactly. MoT. So hopefully it'll pass. Ormond Avenue. No, we don't go down there. Or do we? Yes, we do. I don't know where I'm going. But it's running fine. It's going in a straight line. There's no wheel wobble. Brakes work. There's no funny noises. All is good. Yeah. So hopefully it'll pass. Do some petrol. I'll get some petrol in the morning when I take it for the MoT. It says just under quarter of a tank, but the fuel light's on, so I need to figure out what's making that noise. Something rattling in the back. I don't know what it is. It's not, it's not mechanical. It's a seatbelt or a bit of trim or something. See if I can figure that one out. So hopefully the volume's okay and you can hear me all right. So yeah, very, very, very slightly. So it's, I would imagine that wheel clearly got hit, didn't it, when it sideswiped. So I'm thinking it's probably just the tracking's out. It's not the tracking out. I can't think that it's going to be anything else. But maybe we'll get them to do that as well while I'm down there. If they do the old manual way rather than laser tracking, I don't want to be paying 50-60 quid for laser tracking. That's pointless. I know there's the place not far away where they do it for me for 40 quid for cash. If it comes to it, I'll take it down there and get them to do it. But you know, I'm trying to keep the spin to a minimum on this, as you know, because I paid over the odds for it, but based on the fact that it was going to be a quick turnaround, which it is. Oh, can you believe it? I cut my grass verges yesterday because the council haven't been to do it, and I said to my wife, I bet they do it tomorrow, and here they are. Unbelievable. That happened the last time I cut my grass verges. Now my car's Loopy Harold's going to end up getting covered now. So yes, Loopy Harold is still here. You'll find out more about that later in the week. Trust me, you don't want to know. So, okay, so where were we? Yeah, so car seems to be okay. Seems to be running fine. Start stop has just kicked in. Let's turn it off. I'm going to go back to the ordinary camera now, so I'm going to switch this off and then we'll go back to the ordinary camera. Right, okay, so we've taken the drive. I don't know how much of that drive I captured because I'm using me little, what's it called, cam park, my fake GoPro, which is okay. Picture's all right, but it sounds a bit rubbish. So I've got an external microphone, so I don't know how it's recorded. I'll try and enhance it in iMovie when I get to putting the video together. So yeah, all seems good. As I say, tracking's out minuscule amount, but I need to do it. It's got little paint specks or something on this steering wheel. Yeah, it is paint. I thought it was something, the leather coming off, but no. Anyway, so when I took, which car was it? Oh, the 17 plate one, the facelift one. When I took that down to the new garage for MoT and service recently, they said the MoT failed because one of the windscreen wipers didn't clear the windscreen sufficiently. So they changed both wipers and charged me £25 plus VAT. Lovely. So that's that 30 quid for a set of windscreen wipers when it only needed one, which it probably didn't need anyway. So I was not too happy about that. Yes, I should have checked them, which is what I'm going to do on this one. I am going to check. I'm going to make sure the squirters work. I'm going to make sure the wipers are clearing. In fact, I've got wipers, I think, so I might even just change them for the hell of it and put new ones on. Everything else, I'm just going to check all. The good thing about this car, like a lot of cars, of course, is if a light's out or something, it tells you on the dash. But I am going to go around it and check, make sure everything's working, because I don't think. Bearing in mind, I used to go to Mr. Clutch and they'd help me out. You know, if something was wrong, they'd put it right, or phone me and say, "Do you want us to do it?" You know, I had a windscreen wiper with them once that was a set of windscreen wipers that was split, which again I'd forgotten to check. And they phoned up and said, "Do you want us to put a set of windscreen wipers on it?" And I said, "Actually, I've got a set here. Can I drive down and do it?" And so actually, I got on the bus. That's right. I remember now. I took them with me in a bag on the bus, changed them in the car park. He saw me do it. He come and had a look, and then he just passed it. So Quick Fit ain't going to do that, are they? So I want to make sure it's right. So hopefully there's nothing underneath, no shocks or anything like that, or springs that it's going to fail on. I'm not too bothered when it's an advisory. That's not too bad, because you can, with the advisories, you can make a judgment as to whether to do it or not. I like to have the failure certificate and then tick them off as I do them. Obviously, I'd rather have no advisories anyway. But yeah, let's fingers crossed. It seems like a really decent car. I noticed when I was doing the brakes, I noticed that the cover that goes over the bottom sprocket where the cam belt goes, is that forgotten what it's called now. Let's call it the bottom sprocket. There's a cover, plastic cover that goes across that you have to take off when you do the belt. It's not there. So I'm thinking that this belt has probably been done. Although I looked at the sticker, didn't I? On the walk around video, and the sticker looks like it's not come off unless they've stuck it back again, who knows. But of course I am going to chase up the service history on this one, because as you know, the service book was nestled between the handle that's under the seat where you put the seat backwards and forwards and the base of the seat. It was nestled, it pushed in there, and I'd searched under the seats, couldn't find it. It wasn't until I took the seats out when I cleaned them that I found it. So, and the last service, excuse me if I'm repeating what I've already said, but the last service in that book was 2015, which was the same company that have MoT'd it all the way through since 2015. So I reckon not the last owner, but the one before that, got it serviced by them and MoT'd by them. Service book, or the manuals have all gone under the seat, and the next buyer who bought it in 2015 didn't know it was there. So I had the car serviced and MoT'd by the same company, certainly had it MoT'd, and they never stamped the book because they never knew where the book was. They probably thought they didn't get the book, even though it was under the seat. So I'm going to phone them today, and I'm going to see if they've ever serviced it. And if it's a company, a lot of the companies I have phoned, these little 2-bit backstreet gaffs, don't keep computer records, so they can't tell me. And there's 1 or 2 of them that say, oh, we only do MoTs, we don't do servicing. So obviously they haven't serviced it, but this one has serviced it and has MoT'd it 4 or 5 years in a row, except for I think the last one where it was done by somebody else. So I'm going to ring them all up, ring all 2 of them up, see what they got, see if they've got a service history, see if they can tell me when it was done, what the mileage was, what the date was, and what type of service it was, and then I can stamp the book myself. So that's the plan. I'm going to do that in a minute actually, and we'll stick it in as part of this video. So we'll be back tomorrow. That's the bloke cutting the grass. In case it didn't come out on the other camera, we've got grass verges outside our houses in this road, as you've probably seen in previous videos. And it seems that nobody in the street cuts their grass verges except for me. On the last 2 occasions, including today, I have cut the grass verges when they've not been done for weeks and weeks and weeks. And the next day, they've come along and cut them. Same's happened today, I can't believe it. I got the lawnmower out yesterday, cut the grass out there, and today's the council are coming along and doing it. You couldn't make it up, you really couldn't. Anyway, back to the car. So yeah, getting excited now. Don't know why I'm getting excited. Can chase that service history up today. We'll be back tomorrow with the result of the MoT. Obviously I won't be able to film down there, but I might be able to film if I'm sitting on the wall opposite. So yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow with the result of the MoT. Fingers crossed it passes. If it doesn't pass and it's something I've got to do, which will take me a little while, you know, a mechanical type thing, then hopefully it's one of the things that I can do and I can get done tomorrow if I've got the parts. If I haven't, I'll have to order the parts. So fingers crossed, I'm hoping nice and easy, nice pass, get that bumper painted, get the car machine polished where necessary and get those scratches off. Final clean on the inside, excuse me. It's still a bit grubby in here, it's got like residue of, I don't know what it's residue of, but just needs a proper final clean and polish inside. And then we can get it, yeah, final wash, and then we can get it up for sale. This week would be great. If I can get it up for sale by the weekend, that would be fantastic. Because I think I did have 2 buyers lined up. One of them has dropped out because she failed her driving test and she said I wouldn't be able to test drive the car. So I said, well, you know, a lot of people, actually, most people buy the cars with me taking them out for a spin, not with them driving it. But you know, I wasn't going to argue with her. She's asked me to let her know, or she'll let me know when she's passed her test or when she's got her test again, and then we can, if I've got anything else suitable at the time. But there is another woman who is also asked me to tell her when it's ready. She hasn't hassled me to ask me any update, so maybe she's not interested anymore, but it'll be going on a mum's group regardless, and without doubt it will sell more or less straight away. Still got to work out the price yet. I think 2,750 I'm thinking, maybe 2,850, don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I need to tot up the prices, and it all obviously depends on what happens with the MoT tomorrow. If I can do it a little bit cheaper because I've not had to spend any money getting it through the MoT, then so much better. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So until tomorrow, tatty bye for now. So here I am back at Quick Fit. It's I thought it would have been complete by now when I got back, but I've been for a walk down the high street, bought a few bits and pieces while I'm at a different Mr. Clutch. I keep saying Mr. Clutch, a different Quick Fit for the MoT. So it must be nearly done, I would imagine. So hopefully we'll know the result of it very soon. It's worse than sitting in the dentist waiting room. If it fails, it's painful in a different way. At least I won't have to stick needles and drills in me. But it might be. Oh, I thought that was my brake light. No, it's got my fog light on. I thought one of my brake lights was out for a minute. Anyway, we'll be back when we know what the result is. So it passed the MoT, which is fan-bloody-tastic. Had a couple of advisories on there. One was for top mounts, and the other one was the exhaust that was corroding, which we knew about anyway. But yeah, it passed. So that's good stuff. So what I'm going to do now is get this done. And I'm going to do it in as quick and unobtrusive way as possible. So we'll see how it goes. All we got to do now, it's all dry now. Get my paints out the way. Okay, just going to panel wipe it. Get a good wipe over with it. So this stuff evaporates quite quickly anyway, but obviously it gets any dirt, any grease, anything that might interfere with your painting. Like so. That's that bit. Right, it's dry already. I'm just going to go around this side and do this one. I'm not going to bother filming that. And then we'll mask it up and get some paint on. I'll be back as soon as it's masked. Right, we're all masked off, as much as we need to be. What I'm going to do first, I'm actually going to use the grey plastic primer, and I'm just going to prime. I'm going to prime these bits and that bit. I'm going to sort of come down here. I don't want to prime too much of it because a lot of the paint is going to go on top of what we've already got there. So I'm going to shake this up and we'll come back. Right, it's well and truly shaken. Okay. Bit of a dust coat to start with. Very light coat. That'll do for that. Right, that's my first little dust coat. While that's, I mean, that will take seconds to dry really in this weather, but I'm just going to mask off the bits on the front of the car as well, and then we'll come back and give that another quick dusting. Right, I've done the primer over that side as well as as well as masking it. So now I'm just going to do a bit more on here. Okay. I think one more coat. I think one more coat on that will probably do. You can still see it a little bit. I don't know if that's just the colour of it, but you can actually still see it a little bit. So I'm going to again let that dry for a minute, and while that's drying I'm going to do that other bit around the front of the bumper, and then we'll give it one final little dusting of for that, and then leave it for, I don't know, 10-15 minutes or something to dry, and then I'm going to very going to find a 3000 grit paper, and I'm just going to very lightly go over it to smooth it out, and then we'll get the top coat on. Or the base coat, I should say. I've always referred to the colour as the top coat, but it's not, it's the base coat, isn't it? Primer, base coat, clear coat. Us amateurs will call the colour the top coat, but it ain't. Anyway, back to the primer. Right, that's the last coat of primer. So I say this is a grey plastic primer, so I'm assuming, being plastic primer, it gives a bit. So I'm going to leave that for about quarter of an hour. Then I'm going to get the 3000 grit on it, and then really wet sand it really lightly to try and get a bit of a flatter surface, and then we'll put the base coat on, the colour, and hope for the best. Once I've got the colour on, I'll put I'll probably put 3 coats of colour on, and then I'll leave that a good hour, and then I'll come and put the top coat on, so the clear coat on, and then once the clear coat's on, I should be able to, well, even once the base coat's on and dried, I should be able to tell whether the colour's going to match or not. But if it's that bad, then I don't know, I'll have to have a rethink. But even if it's relatively close, it will be better than it was. So we'll see. Anyway, there's no point wondering about it until it's done. So we just have to hope for the best. So I've learnt a lot recently on this, because when I did, it was a red Sport I did a while ago, where I repaired the bumper with hot staples and then I painted it. It was okay, but I didn't know about cutting and polishing then, so I painted it, I clear coated it, and then I just used cutting compound over the clear coat. I didn't do a cut and polish like I now know that you have to do. So hopefully we'll get a better finish this time. Obviously we want it to be shiny, we want it to be smooth, and above all we want it to match, but only time will tell. So I'm going to pause you for the time being and put the camera back on charge, as it's probably running down, and then make a cup of tea, and then by the time I've drunk that, it'll be time to give it a quick sand, very light sand, as I said, and then we'll wipe it down, wipe it down, panel wipe it, let that go off, and then we'll get the base coat on. So back shortly. Right, so I actually forgot to film it while I was rubbing it down, but I actually used a 3000 wet and dry. I have actually got 5000 as well, but I used the 3000. As you can see, there's the bit of the grey on the floor there where it's just taken the very top surface off. Now I know you don't normally do this, but the only reason I've done it is because I'm laying this primer down using a can, not with a professional spray gun. So I just wanted to get it as smooth as possible, and now I'm feeling that is so smooth. It's as smooth as the proper paint. So I'm going to let that dry. I've done it down there as well. And I really did go it really lightly and wet. And it obviously it helps to the bits where you're blending out as well. I know you blend out with the base coat, but obviously there's an element of you having to do that with a primer as well, otherwise you'll get an edge, and the last thing you want is an edge, which I've seen before when I've been doing this. So I think when I did it on the beige colour therapy one, that was the right dog's, apart from the colour was so out, it was untrue, it was the right old dog's dinner. Laying down a base coat on that will give me a much better chance of it blending in. So that's why, in case you're all jumping up and down saying why have you sanded the primer. So I've not taken the primer off, so there's a little bit of water down there. You can see where it's just taken the little top coat off of it. It's just smoothed it out a little bit. So there's my cat. Poppy, Poppy, hello, say hello. Say hello. No, it's not going to say hello. Oh, I didn't know you were standing behind me. So I'll come back when I'm going to do the top coat anyway. Base coat, not top coat, base coat. Right, base coat time. Fingers crossed time. Do I start at the top or do I start at the bottom? Don't know. Oh, look at that splatter. I'm glad I tested that before I sprayed it on. Right. This is just the first dust coat. I don't know how much of this you're seeing, but from what I can see at the moment it looks quite good. Right, we'll leave that and then we'll come do the bottom bit. Let's move you around here. It actually, I know it's wet still, but it looks okay. Again, this is just a dust coat really. Probably a bit more than a dust coat actually, but that'll do for that. And I'm looking at that side. Let me get the camera. It's only a dust coat. From what I can see there, it's a good match. From what I can see, the telling will be when I take that tape off and we see how it is against that panel. But at the moment, it looks good, considering it's just one coat as well, which is still wet, obviously. So we'll give it 10-15 minutes and we can do another coat. Well, about 20 minutes has passed, I suppose, something like that. And it actually looks good, colour-wise, certainly. You can see it is only a dust coat, of course, but well, it's a bit more than a dust coat. But of course, it's a little bit patchy because it's not a proper coat. Right, second coat. I think I go too fast when I do this. I'm trying to slow it down a bit. Pleased with that. Yeah, that looks good. Coverage wise it looks good, colour looks good. Whether it'll look good once it's cut and polished or not, I don't know. I'm not going to film me doing the other bit, but we'll come back on the third coat. I think 3 coats will be enough. And then we'll get some, we'll leave it an hour I think, and then we'll get, no actually you're not supposed to leave it a long time, are you? Because you need something. You don't want it to be really dry because you want it to a key for the clear coat, so we'll leave it 15-20 minutes again once we've done the third and final coat, and then we'll leave that overnight before we cut it back. So we'll be back for the next coat. Alright, last coat. Seems decent paint this. Right, that's it. That's the colour all on. It's alright. You can see the repair very, very slightly. Maybe I should have put a little bit of filler in there, but then I would have had to rub it down, blah 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 blah. It's only, you can only really see it because I know it's there, but when I come to do the white car, which is to my left, that'll some serious filling needed in those seals once I've pulled out what I can. So I'm going to leave this for a little while, 20 minutes or so. I've got to go and take some parcels to the local Hermes locker, which I will use Harold to drive down there. And then when I come back, I'll get some clear coat on, and then we'll get more of an idea of how it's going to look. From what I can tell at the moment, it matches quite well. It's got a sheen to it, but then it's wet, of course. I mean, it's not a 2K one, so it's not going to dry shiny, obviously. It's just bog standard paint. I don't even know if it's 1K, is it? It's I don't know, is there 2K, 1K and other paint, or is it just 2K, 1K? I don't know. Obviously it's got no hardener, it's just a can of paint. So yeah, so I look forward to get that clear coat on, leave it till tomorrow. Oh my god, I just felt a speck of rain. There's 1 or 2 specks of rain. That's not what we want. There's one little bit of darkish cloud above us, the rest of it's white fluffy clouds, and it was lovely and sunny. Well, all day it's been lovely and sunny, isn't it typical? So we don't want any rain to fall on that paintwork, do we? There's 1 drop. I can literally see like 2 or 3 drops on the drive. Anyway, yeah, so when I get back I'll get some clear coat on it, and hopefully that'll be it. So see you shortly. Right, I'm back from doing my parcels, and it's quite a nice smooth finish actually without the clear coat. We've got to do this, get a good couple of coats. How many coats does it say on here? Applying cross coats, drying time 10 to 25 minutes. Doesn't say how many coats. I've always given it at least a couple of coats. I don't know if that's right or not, but I suppose it depends on the coverage, doesn't it? I'm going to do a little mist coat first. And then we'll give it a proper coat. And then maybe one more, but I'll be back. Alright. Okay, here we go. Luckily we haven't got any wind today. Just hope this is going to match. Because it's never going to look the same on a bumper anyway, but so I'm trying to not go too far that way because I don't want the line here, which I haven't got. I'm just trying to do it lightly there so it feathers. Right, that'll do for the first coat, I think. Not sure about the colour now it's dried. Obviously there's no shine to it. Until I cut and polish it, there's no shine, so that'll hopefully make a difference. When I look at the paint, well, I can't see where I'm pointing. When I look at the paint there to here, the transition is pretty much, you can't really see it, apart from one's a little bit on the matte side and the other one's glossy. You can't really see a colour difference, but when I look from sort of wing to bumper, bumper to wing, obviously you can see a little bit of a difference. But you know, c'est la vie. I'm just going to do that front bit, and then we'll come back. We'll give it one more coat, I think, and then we'll get all the masking off, and then we'll leave it till tomorrow before we cut and polish it. Right, there we go. Last coat of clear coat. So it's not in the slightest bit shiny at the moment. Probably I'm not expecting it to be, really. That's the cut and polish will do that, I hope, because it's quite matte at the moment. Feathered out at the edge. I think that'll do. Put the lid on. I'm never really sure how much to lay down. See, I mean, even though that's gone on now, it's still quite matte. I think I need to forget about the fact that it's a little bit matte and just leave it till tomorrow. I'm just going to let it till when it's dried. I'll take all this masking off, and then we'll just leave it till tomorrow. When I get home from work tomorrow, I'll come out and tomorrow evening and get the old machine out and give it a good cut and polish, and hopefully that'll be it. So it's a bit difficult to tell about colour. The colour looks alright, but it's a bit difficult to tell because it's matte against gloss. So yeah, can't tell. I won't keep harping on about it anyway. Yeah, that's it for the time being. There's one more thing I want to do on the back. Obviously I've still got to cut and polish this up here. Still got to do this, and I've still got to sort this bit. I'm going to cut and polish that. Well, I already cut it. I'm going to polish that up and see how it comes out and touch that bit in. If it looks crap, I'm going to get paint on it. I'll spray some paint on it, depending on how what I've just done comes out. But this definitely needs to cut and polish, this bonnet. Not this side, but with this bit with the scratches. There's one more thing I want to do. Obviously the entire car needs a clean. I'm going to do the inside of the car because I can. I also wanted to try and cut and polish those out as well if I can. Not sure, I think that might have gone through to the paint, so we might not be able to do anything about that. But just finishing little touches, because as you know, I'm not putting new plates on it. They have seen better days, these plates, but I'm not putting new plates on it. But what I am going to do is replace the screws. I think I'll be lucky to get a couple of these screws out, but I'm going to replace the screws and put the yellow caps over them as well, so at least that just sort of tidies it up a little bit. It's little things like that. Oh, I know what I've got to do as well. That don't go on properly. That needs some oil on it, some WD on it with the key in it, and it'll free it. Common fault on these. And I noticed, which I need to get out, I think it's a moth. Yeah, look at the size of that moth. There's a dead moth in the rear light. How the hell did that get in there? That's been replaced at some point. That's on one of the service things that they replaced that. I'd love to know how it got in there. That's it. I'm going to do that now, actually. So I'm just hoping I can get these screws out without breaking them. I don't want to have to drill them out or whatever. So I've got loads of these things. Loads of different size screws as well. I don't know why I've got so many different size screws. So let's get 4 screws out. Let's have one yellow thing. Do them one at a time. One at a time. God, they are very, very stiff. Very stiff. In fact, that's not coming out. I think we're going to struggle here. Let's get this one's not so bad. No, that one's coming out fine. There's one of them here which is pretty rounded off, so I've got a feeling I ain't going to get that out. So get that one in. Transformation already, look, just with the one. Right, let's see if we can get the rest out. I'm not going to bore you watching me do this. 3 out. That first one I tried, it won't come out. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stick a top over it with some glue. It just looks a bit odd like that, and it looks a bit messy. So if I was putting new plates on, I'd just snap it off and drill it out, but I'm not. So yeah, I'm just going to put a cap over the top of it. Shame, but yeah, if I just put a cap over the top of it like that with a bit of glue, it's better than nothing. Right, let's do that, and then that's one little job done. So I've got to go over this and tart it up with any other bits of paint that are scratched and whatever, and it needs a damn good clean as well. So we'll do that next week probably. I would like to have got it up for sale by the weekend, but I don't think that's going to happen due to work. I might do by the end of the weekend. We'll see. Now, we've shown you this before. In fact, I think I've got an entire video on the how-to series. See, if I put this in, turn the whole thing, turn the key, it comes off because it ain't working, because it's making that clicking noise. It ain't working. So what you do is you get some WD and you give it a good old squirt, a good lathering. Still getting just air in there at the moment, like that. Get the key in, give it a good turn, loosen it up a bit, and then turn the whole thing, turn the key, fixed, just like that. So if you ever get a fuel cap that won't close, that's why. Just checking I was recording sound then. So that's it, sorted. Unscrew, turn the whole thing like that, turn the whole thing, turn the key like that. That's it, another job done.